Hi, Miss Wall. This is Katie here, and I've been attending EAP 1900 for last semester, and yeah, it's about to end. It's about to the end of the semester. So, first of all, thank you so much. And secondly, I only have 5 to 7 minutes to present my reflective presentation. So let's jump right into the presentation right now. Yes, here is my reflective presentation. Welcome. So in this presentation, I'm gonna talk about my goals before coming to class, why I chose my topic and my topic proposal, my strength and my weaknesses I realized during the writing process, and the transformation I want to make for my module 3, which is the argumentative essay, and last but not least, my summary for all of my thoughts in the class. Yes, let's get started with my goals before coming to class. I did not draw myself any specific pictures about writing or rhetorical or researching writing. I just know that I'm going to be practicing my writing skills, and I set myself a little expectations here are construct a fully developed research paper with logical and cohesive English writing, and I got to know how to think and write critically and be able to connect sources with argument in essay, like with arguments in essay writing. So let's see if I achieve those goals or not. In my topic chosen, why this topic seems significant for me is that I got inspired by the article Teaching Men to be Emotionally Honest in the book called They Say I Say. And this social problem is kind of new, and since I used to have a friend who has suffered severe men discrimination from his family and surrounding people, so I think I can relate it to cases. And since I have known this topic so far, I think I can put my path goals during the writing, and it's going to be easier for me to find a source because I know what the topic is and what it's going to be about. So in my topic proposal, I got my research question. Research question is going to be what are the effects of negative mental thinking such as depression and suicidal intention in men belief and behaviors? What do men and other people do to prevent mental health problems? So both my thesis statement and conclusions support the idea that the main reason that's leading to men depression and suicides is the financial problem and the pressure to be the provider in the family. And to get out of this problem, men needs to share with this, care about their mental health, and he also needs support from other people and surrounding people them too. So the process I found the hardest is the research process. I found a lot of difficulties in finding source, evaluating them, marking quotations, or even simply understand the main idea of the source. Since in high school, when I wrote about argumentative essay, I usually found sources that is on YouTube or daily newspapers, so it's going to be easier for me to understand the English in there. But in academic journal article, it's going to be using scholastic knowledge and formal words, so which is harder for me for an international student to understand what it's about. And if I got a suggestion, I would suggest a session that planning for students where to find core information in the academic journal, because I really got confused about that, and especially I think all freshmen is all about that. Yeah, freshmen has a lot of confusing about knowing how to find information in the academic journal. Next is here's examples and illustration that I found my core information, which is from table here, abstract of course, jars, discussion and conclusion, and sometimes it's going to be title of each paragraph like that. So for jars and table, I'm going to make assumptions and quick conclusion about the data they're giving me. And in the abstract, I will highlight all of summary sentence that contain most of the information for the research. And in discussion and conclusion, I will summarize most of the result of the survey or the research they are doing. And for the paragraph, for each paragraph, I will find I will look at the title if I needed the information or not, or if I don't, just pass it. I don't want to waste my time on that. So I only found these tips after I do source evaluation, so it's kind of useless at that time, but it's gonna be helpful for me in the future. So I found a video for tips for finding information in the journal article. Let's watch the video here.
Good grammar and spelling are important, but if you want to write essays that inspire...
So today I was going to do a video that was all about the various bits of literature I've been reading recently, but then I thought what might be useful potentially to others is if I show you my method for reading and taking notes on journal articles, papers, essays and books. So here I've got a paper that I first read yesterday called Cosmopolitan Cities, the Frontier in the 21st Century. And I'm already halfway through my process of kind of reading and taking notes upon this particular paper. So as you might be able to see, I've already gone through and highlighted lots of different bits. Now I tend to use both highlighting and note-taking, but I use them both in a slightly different way. If I've highlighted something, it essentially means that I can go back and I can read through this paper the next time much quicker than previously. So what I tend to do is pick out sentences that kind of describe the rest of a paragraph. So in abstract, it might be a little bit more highlighted than later on where it starts to get a bit more sparse, where I've highlighted and where I haven't. So in a sociology paper like this, particularly what I'm looking for is anywhere where it explains in a simple sentence what the study is that's going to be carried out, or perhaps explains in a simple sentence the findings. So here we can see, for example, that the authors have said that we conceptualize cosmopolitan cities as urban areas whose cultures emphasize values, including autonomy, freedom, egalitarian, and mutual respect. Now that is not only useful for my reading of the article, but also for my writing later on. So that's where my notes start to come in. So here is Evernote, which is a note-taking application. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make...
So I found on the internet and YouTube that helped me find the core information in the article. And then moving on to my witnesses. As I mentioned in my midterm exam, I let my emotions affect too much my performance, and I've been struggling in applying the information to the final essay. I think in draft 1, 2, and 3, in the argumentative essay, I got a lot of comment about floating code, hard to understand, need more explanation, no explanation, or evidence to prove the credibility of author or sources. And I really did not know how to fix that or solve that. So during the whole 3 draft, I just struggling in writing again and again, making the same mistake. But when it come to strain, I think I got in the module 1, I got the capability to reflect on this piece of writing and giving discussion about the author's standpoint or rhetorical appeal. But after I submit my draft to you, and I got a lot of comment about embedding quotations, so I have known how to embed a quotation into my essay, followed by the ICE rule, which is introduction, citation, and explanation. So to prove the reliability of the source, I have to introduce the author and the quotation and then cite it. And then the most important thing is to explain it and to make it related to the essay. So that's how it's gonna be connected together. So it's not floating anymore. That's what I've learned. And the transformation, I got a lot of comments about my argumentative essay about grammar errors and a lot of irrelevant sources and subjectively writing. But you can see those comments here. Yeah, they are all good, and I want to learn about that, so I cannot make it again. And the way that I would change it is that I would revise the grammar errors I see in my essay and eliminate some of irrelevant source, because it prevents my essay from approaching critically. Because I have a lot of source talking about how men depression coming from finance and the pressure of being a provider, but not talking about different sexuality, not only straight people, but there are plenty of bisexual and pansexual people who are dealing with different reasons of depression and suicide. So I want to change that, and I will revise this a lot and find more source that related to this topic to talk about it in my essay. So in summary, I've realizing my strength and weakness forces me to come up with changes I need to make to improve this point. My bad side is source annotation and application, but my good side is embedding quotation in my essay. So reading and analyzing source and practicing critical thinking while approaching a social problem is what I have to practicing right now, and I want to fix that in the future so I cannot make it again. Yes, and thank you for attending a lot. But if you notice those little quotations here, if you stick it together, it's going to be welcome to my reflection. We've been through a lot. It's time to rewind from the beginning, day by day. Hard time has passed. Learn new things every day. Everyone's been bad. Everyone is good now. Thank you as well for all your hard work. And the new journey has begun, and I hope to see you soon. That's what I want to send to you, and thank you so much again, and hope you have a nice day.